Do you know why Gojo seals the eyes? Come with me and you will know. Hey guys, how are you? I hope you are well. Today I bring you 66 facts that you probably didn't know about Jujutsu Kaisen. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon who talks about Jujutsu the most on YouTube, and you're on my channel.
Megumi-chan.
The reason Gojo seals his eyes is that he uses a very powerful jujutsu technique called 6 eyes, and this technique always leaves the user very tired, but the feeling of tiredness decreases a lot when he has his eyes closed. Gojo sees through something like thermography underneath the blindfold. Gojo is the first person in over 400 years to inherit the 6 eyes technique. Kohei Horikoshi, the author of My Hero Academia, is a big fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, and his favorite character is Mahito. I even made a video with 66 facts about My Hero Academia. The link is on the cards. The author intended to release only the 0 volume of Jujutsu, the one that is focused on Yuta and that later became a movie, but his editor told him that the material he had in his hands had a lot of potential, so he decided to continue and deepen more the universe he had created. Nanami was originally thought to be a villain who would be placed in a situation in the future that had to help Itadori on some mission, but the author realized that he would need Nanami in some parts of the story, and that's why he already entered the story as a Jujutsu sorcerer on the side of good. If Nanami were a villain, he would have killed all the employees at the company he worked for, as he doesn't like working there and hates overtime. The author has already stated that he doesn't feel sorry for the characters, and that for him, it doesn't matter which character dies, as long as it makes the story more interesting. Yuji's uniform was inspired by Naruto, more specifically in the initial uniform, the one with the big collar. It even reminds me a little. What do you think? The author had plans to leave Itadori dead after Sukuna ripped his heart out, as Itadori is a character the author doesn't get along with very well, but the possibility of keeping Itadori dead was ruled out after the manga became very successful. Nobara's hair is dyed. Despite having a relatively common color, his natural hair color is darker, while Itadori does not use any dye. His hair is actually pink. Gojo used to eat sweets to think better, but this turned into a real addiction, making him fond of sweets. The Zenin family exposed Toji to all kinds of abuse as a child. He received his scar when he was young after the Zenin clan threw him into the disciplinary pit of cursed spirits. When his Shikigami is destroyed, Megumi becomes depressed. People like him are often more saddened by the death of animals than people he doesn't know. Megumi learned hand-to-hand combat from Gojo and Maki, and was also trained in using cursed weapons. Sukuna won Crunchyroll's Best Antagonist Award at the Anime Awards 2021. Sukuna was a curse user, but Nanami thinks he's something akin to a natural disaster. Mahito is a powerful cursed spirit born out of humanity's collective hatred and fear of other humans, and ironically his name translates as true person. The author of Jujutsu compares Tadu to a highly skilled gorilla, as he became a first-degree sorcerer as a student despite coming from a non-sorcerer family. Mai's sexuality has never been confirmed, but it is mentioned in extra volumes that when she interacts with female characters it appears that they are dating. Although many fans like Satoru Gojo a lot, he is not the most popular. In fact, Suguru is the most popular among the male characters in the work. Kokichi named his mecha after his favorite anime. Yutaheim hates Satoru Gojo on most occasions because of his smug and confident manner, despite the fact that she is technically his senior. Yuki has a habit of asking men she meets what type of girl they like, and this was a habit that her student Tadu adopted. Rika's life has always been very tragic. Her mother died when she was 5 years old, her father was lost while climbing mountains, her father was never found, and her death was never confirmed. Rika meets Yuta at the hospital while he is being treated for pneumonia, and the ring Rika gives Yuta was her mother's old wedding ring. If Itadori hadn't become a Jujutsu sorcerer, he would probably be a firefighter, as that was her childhood dream. During his training with Gojo, Itadori watches several famous films such as Leon, The Descent, and The Host. Jago is one of the 4 cursed spirits born from the collective, unconscious fear of humanity. His appearance and ability imply that he was born from the collective fear of volcanic eruptions. Misato often plays video games with Riko, and their favorite game is Mario Kart. Itadori's name was chosen from the name of a classmate of the author, as the idea was to give the character a realistic name. Even having Sukuna lodged in his body, Itadori can sleep well, being able to sleep anywhere. Itadori was a good student at school, but he always procrastinated and turned in his work the day before. Gojo was a fan of Digimon in his childhood, and coincidentally his voice actor is also a fan and has worked on Digimon. The word Satoru in his name means reaching a higher perception. Megumi isn't the type to wear fancy clothes, he prefers casual clothes, the kind you would wear at home. The Yaga director was Gojo's teacher when he was a student. Satoru Gojo is so talented that he can do pretty much anything he tries, so he tries not to get too involved with anything, for the sake of the next generation. Nobara's grandmother was already a Jujutsu sorceress and her granddaughter accompanied her on missions. It is not known for sure why, but Nobara has an extremely high tolerance for pain, which makes her very resilient. Each kanji that forms Nobara's name has a specific meaning. Nail, rose, and wild are some of them. The hammer that is Nobara's main weapon has a heart engraved on it, which she made herself when she was little. The sledgehammer that Nobara uses in episode 17 is a reference to the red grasshopper's sledgehammer. So far there are only 4 Jujutsu users who are at a special level. They are Gojo, Yuta, Suguru Geto, and Yuki Tsukumo. The Zenin family home is based on a famous architecture museum in Tokyo called Kodakaryu. The author doesn't like to put female characters in eki scenes, which are those appealing scenes with exaggerated sensuality and sexual connotations, and according to the author he doesn't do these things thinking about his parents who are going to read the manga. Mahito likes Perry Lornithorink from Phineas and Ferb, and that's why he made Junpei that way. My god! The author of the work has already stated that Evangelion was one of his main sources of inspiration, mainly due to the conflict between man and god. Another source of inspiration was Hunter x Hunter, as the magic system of Jujutsu is based on that work, where power levels are based on NEM levels, similar to Jujutsu where power levels are based on cursed energy. When asked how Yuta returned to his old level of power, the author replied that it only took 3 months for him to return to his special level again after Rika's exorcism. Toji Fushiguro does not have a classification because the Jujutsu world has no interest in classifying those physically gifted from the heavenly restrictions. Despite his lack of money, Toji Fushiguro managed to acquire expensive curse tools after he left the Zenin family. He earned money by taking jobs with private and shady individuals. Gojo's power is so great that it causes an imbalance in natural forces. Gojo has already revealed that his family comes from the lineage of one of the 3 Japanese vengeful spirits. Jujutsu means ability to manipulate cursed energy, something common in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, so the title of the story could be translated as Battle of Sorcerers. Sukuna was already considered the king of curses when he was already human, long before he became a cursed object. The kimono that Sukuna wears is looser and wider around the arms than a conventional kimono, so he had more room for his 4 arms in his original form. Ken Akamatsu, the creator of Love Huna, has already said that Gijaku Tami, author of Jujutsu Kaisen, is actually a woman, and that would explain why he never showed his face, and this is relatively common among Japanese female authors since there is great discrimination there. With women, and many of them pretend to be men, use male pseudonyms, and after the work is successful they reveal themselves. The panda is not actually a panda, but one of the many dolls created by the Yaga, but unlike the others, the panda has acquired consciousness and autonomy. Itadori, in addition to possessing almost superhuman strength, is also very fast, being able to run at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Megumi's name is a girl's name, and because of that he grew up thinking that his father hated him for simply giving him a girl's name. In reality Toji, Megumi's father, considered his son one of the most important things in his life, and that's why he gave him that name, which means blessings. In Jujutsu, Yuta is the character who has the most energy of cursed energy among all, surpassing even Gojo's energy, so Yuta technically should be the strongest character, but the technique that Gojo uses makes his energy does not run out, while Yuta has the possibility of running out of energy. In addition to having great power to manipulate cursed spirits, Suguru Geto is also a specialist in martial arts, being a master of several modalities. Gijakatami, the author of Jujutsu Kaisen, uses a one-eyed cat to represent himself in the manga. The Kenjaku's brain is part of his original body, and he can basically have two innate abilities at the same time, the original one from his body, and the one from the body he currently inhabits. Don't forget to leave suggestions in the comments for the next videos. Until next time, my people, demonic hugs.